So welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is John with SwingFit. So it's that time of the year, it's launch season, and we're starting to get the new products for the 2023 season coming through the doors. So in today's video, I thought it'd be pretty cool if we did a quick overview of what's in store for the 2023 season, what are we most eager to put in our customers' hands, as well as share one very important reason why you should consider going through the club fitting process more than ever before. Spoiler alert, it does come down to cost. So without further delay, let's jump in. So before we get super deep into today's video, I do want to take a quick second to share an update on where we stand with the studio expansion, because the good news is we are literally just 2 weeks away from moving into this bad boy. And once completed, we're gonna have a section of the facility that is dedicated for practice and play, so that way you can work on your technique and delivery. And then we're also gonna have a section that's completely isolated from the other, so that way we can take you through the custom fitting experience. And this is definitely a first in the club fitting industry where you can do both under the same roof. And what's been the holdup is this damn koi pond. And although this is a main feature in the fitting studio, if I could rewind the clock, I probably would have went a different route, because this damn thing has been the bane of my existence. And before we can put the turf and the flooring down, we got to make sure that this bad boy is watertight. And this weekend is the acid test, so fingers crossed we shouldn't have any problems. But guys, what do you think of our new shaft walls? This is something that I put a lot of time, a lot of thought into, and I just wanted it to stand out more than just having a myriad of golf shafts. I just wanted it to be a main focal point. And trust me, once we are completed, we're gonna do a complete studio walkthrough, so that way you can see what we've been working on over the last 4 to 5 months. Now, let's get back to today's video, so that I'm not keeping you on the edge of your seat and withholding the #1 reason of why you should consider going through the club fitting process. Because if you haven't seen the latest prices of the current lineup, please be prepared to pay upwards of $600 to $700 for a bare bones, off-the-shelf, stock OEM driver. Now that's pretty damn crazy. Throw a $350 Ventus with Velocore shaft in there, now you're looking at $1,000 to $1,100 for one golf club. And I don't know about you, but if I'm gonna make that type of investment, wouldn't you want to trust but verify to make sure that that driver is the best driver for you? So whether or not if you decide to go through a facility like ours or your local pro shop, please do yourself a favor and try all of the different options that's out there, and at least get it optimized to you. Not only will you save yourself some headaches and some frustrations, I'm quite confident you will save yourself some money in the long run, and a small consultation fee such as $50 to $80 is going to be a drop in the bucket to protect that investment. So now let's take a look at the current lineup this year, and as a quick disclaimer, we're not going to be reviewing all of the manufacturers nor all of their products. We will focus on the drivers for this video, so this way we can keep it short and sweet. And the manufacturers we're going to look at today are the drivers that we already have in our fitting matrix. This isn't going to be a full-blown review. We will do videos later on where we actually start to peel back the layers and talk about all of the design characteristics. But today, I just want to show you the pictures, give you the average retail cost, so this way you can already start to do a little bit of legwork with your research. And first up is Cobra, and just like in years past, there are 3 different models you can pick and choose from. There is the Aerojet LS version, the standard Aerojet, and then the Aerojet Max. Now, all 3 of these drivers have an average retail price of $549, making it one of the lowest priced drivers in the current lineup. Now, don't let the price fool you, because there is a lot of performance packed into these bad boys. And just like some of the other manufacturers, Cobra made a conscious decision to stay with the 3 model lineup, because this really does allow them to cater to all walks of life. So regardless of your skill, there is a driver for you. And depending on what your needs and your skill level is currently at, one of these drivers is likely going to be a good fit. But checking in at $549, this is definitely something that you may want to give some strong consideration. Up next is the brand new Ping drivers, and just like Cobra, it also shares an average retail cost of $549 across all three models. And just like in years past, there are three different flavors. There is the G430 LST, the low spin version. There's the G430 Max, as well as the G430 Straight Flight. Now, quick nugget here is the Ping G430 Straight Flight versions has definitely been one of our go-tos for somebody that's struggling with that right side miss. So if you're currently a slicer of the ball, or the ball always goes right or goes left for those lefties, you definitely may want to consider going with a Ping option, because I found that perimeter weighting and having that mass stacked in the heel can be a huge benefit with helping you mitigate that. But once again, checking in at $549, this is also a strong contender, so put Cobra and Ping at the top of your list. Next on our list is Callaway with the Paradigm family. And just like the other manufacturers, there are three different models here. So if you haven't started to pick up on the trend here, most manufacturers will offer three or more different models to pick and choose from, because it just allows them to cater to all of the different types of golfers that's going to play the game. So once again, there is something for everybody here. Now, personally, I do think this takes top prize for looks. The question is, can it live up to those looks and perform just as good? And Callaway is making some pretty bold claims, but with all of the design changes they've introduced into this year, I'm quite eager to put it to the ringer. But you have your triple diamond, you have your regular Paradigm, and you have your Paradigm X. And unlike the other two we talked about, average retail cost is checking in at $599. So if you're looking for a beautiful driver that resembles a bowling ball of something you played back when you was younger, then definitely consider giving this one a strong look. Titleist is next on our list, and here's where we start to separate from the other manufacturers, because here we're going to add an additional model to the family lineup. So not only do we have a good player club being the TSR4 low spin design, we got the TSR3, the TSR2, and now also a TSR1, which is about to drop. So we haven't really been able to put our hands on the TSR1 yet, but the other ones we've had in the fitting matrix for a couple months now, and it's done very, very well. And the TSR1 really caters to those slower swing speeds, so our senior golfers and our female golfers, and it's really been designed to kind of help get the ball up in the air. And we know if we can get a little bit more air time, we can just help you squeak out some extra yards. Now, all four of these models, regardless of which one you go with, is going to be clocking in about $599. So really, really good price. Several good stock shaft offerings in the Titleist family, and you really can't go wrong. Last but certainly not least are our drivers from TaylorMade, and continuing on the success of last year's platform enters the TaylorMade Stealth 2 drivers. And just like last year, we had three models to pick and choose from. You have your Stealth 2 Plus, which I am pleased to inform everybody, the sliding track has made its way back, so they didn't deviate, so thank you, TaylorMade. You have your Stealth 2 driver, which is a high and wide driver, and then you have your Stealth 2 High Draw, which really helps protect against that right side and doesn't really go away from what the other manufacturers do. There's always that slice protection built in there. And what's really different about these drivers versus everyone else that we talked about is if you happen to fall into that Stealth 2 Plus category, expect to pay a little more for that one, because it's going to clock in at about $629. Hell, throw a $350 aftermarket shaft in there, now you're upwards of $1,000 for one golf club, and that's pretty crazy. So once again, please seek out the advice and counsel from a club fitter before you pull the trigger. Now, if you happen to fall into the other two options, the regular Stealth 2 and the Stealth 2 High Draw, you're going to pay no more than that of Callaway and Titleist. $599 out the door, you're good to go. Now, TaylorMade does offer a dedicated ladies driver, which it brings into a fourth option, but it's really just catered towards the female market. So unlike Titleist, where the TSR1 can actually go into a senior golfer, a female golfer, or a junior golfer, right? Here, TaylorMade is really just kind of isolating that fourth option to just females only. So TaylorMade, you may want to take a page out of Titleist's book, and who knows, you might actually increase sales in that last one. So guys, that's our lineup for this year, and full disclaimer, there are other drivers out on the market from PXG, Strixon, Mizuno, and so on, but these are the drivers that we're gonna have in our fitting matrix this year, so please stay tuned as we start to get more products in the door. So in closing, we hope you found value in the information that we shared with you today, and at least, if anything else, we gave you a little background and helped you do a little bit of research on what the new models are going for, so this way you can kind of start making a short list of which options and drivers you may want to consider. As always, if you have any questions or comments, do me a favor, just leave them in the remarks below, and then until next time, thanks for watching.